Good, Stu here, Stu TV. I cover all things blockchain, metaverse, crypto, NFTs, all that good stuff. Just doing now, starting a beginner series. We're going to start covering a lot of just more beginner content, as far as especially folks that's wanting to onboard and everything. So welcome to the first video. Welcome to the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you share the video. But anyway, this is going to be doing a series of covering different subsectors in the crypto sphere or bubble and like opportunities for folks based on what your interest, your risk tolerance. So just introducing just all the subsections outside of Bitcoin or just different aspects to where you can gain liquidity and possibly put it back in Bitcoin. So I'll be highlighting a lot of these different sectors, categories, just areas within crypto. But today we're actually going to get into DeFi, and specifically we're going to talk about just a beginner's guide and get an introduction to DeFi, and then we're going to do some basic DeFi when it comes with swapping. So that's something that a lot of people benefit from. So we're going to talk about some cross-chain swaps. But anyway, let's get into this article. So what is DeFi? A beginner's guide to decentralized finance. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. After Bitcoin's launch in 2009, a robust industry blossomed stemming from the past asset and its concept and its underlying technology. The crypto and blockchain space boasts different niches in which projects and companies develop solutions for various use cases. One such niche is decentralized finance, which was created as an alternative to traditional finance services. More specifically, DeFi consists of smart contracts, which in turn power decentralized applications and or dApps and protocols. Many of these DeFi applications were built on Ethereum, and the majority of ecosystems total value locked remains concentrated here. So I'm going to scroll through whatever. Lending may have started it all, but DeFi applications now have many uses, giving participants access to saving, investing, trading, market making, and more. Decentralized finance ultimate goal is to challenge and eventually replace traditional financial service providers. DeFi harnesses an open source code allowing anybody to build on pre-existing applications with a permissionless and composing manner. So actually just breaking down just the first section of this, basically the DeFi sector is just opening up another gateway where people could take their capital and be able to invest and get higher returns versus like some of these more traditional options that you see with different banks not getting a lot of yield or return as far as keeping your money in the savings account and then allowing trading overseas. But how much of that money are you actually seeing? How much of that money are you actually getting? And DeFi just offers the chance of taking out the middleman to where you can work with a group or get with a community or a collective or a group and then put your money into a pool and be able to earn that way and just earn interest. So that's a direction now that people are going, and DeFi just opens up a lot of opportunities for that. So let's continue reading. Finance is easy to understand, but what is decentralization? In short, decentralized means that no chief body controls something. To the extent banks and other financial institutions have power over your funds, these entities can freeze your assets and you are at the mercy of their hours of operation and cash reserves. The decentralization aspect of DeFi is not also dispersal of power, but also dispersal of risk. For example, if a company holds all of its customer data in one spot, a hacker only needs access to that particular site for a vast amount of data. In contrast, storing data across several locations, removing that single point of failure could improve security. This article will explain what DeFi, how it works with DeFi training and decentralized banking. So that's just part of what I was covering before. Having different financial institutions, they have control as far as over your funds. If you want to take out a ridiculous amount of money, you might have to sign some papers or call somebody a number of times to get a transaction to go through, depending on that amount. But DeFi, you get access to all that capital. Now, obviously, it's a lot of risk to it, so you have to be careful of spam links and scams. But that's why just taking it through this, intricate process and going step by step, that way it just has a process to go about learning and participating in DeFi and make sure your security is up to date on what you're doing in this decentralized space. So let's keep going. For this comparison, commercial banks will be used as an example. In traditional world, you may use financial institutions to store your money, borrow capital, earn interest, send transactions. Commercial banks carry a length of proven history and performance. Commercial banks can provide insurance and have security measures in place to ward off and protect against theft. On the other hand, such establishments hold and control your assets to a degree. You are limited by banking hours for particular actions, and transactions can be cumbersome, requiring settlement times on the back end. Additionally, commercial banks require customer details and identifying documents for participation. DeFi is a segment that compromises the financial product and services that are accessible to anyone with an internet connection and operates without the involvement of banks or any third-party firms. So even just to describe that, just going in from the DeFi to centralized aspect, basically just having that protection in the bank. Don't sit up here and go crazy. Don't think that you're going to go in this world and not have a bank account. Have a bank account, traditional banks, and keep money in there, because you never know as far as what path for as an emergency you might need access to liquid capital. But also just explain the point that there's opportunities in DeFi where you could take, you know, a percentage of that money and you want to play with it in DeFi and see if you can multiply and grow that money. And then over time, and if you find a particular strategy, something that can strike you so much APY, now you've kind of hit it gold, and now you can kind of build on top of that opportunity. That's what DeFi presents. DeFi is a segment that compromises without the third-party forms. You can store your crypto on computers and hard wallets and everywhere. So let's actually read this. Users must share personal data, which is vulnerable to security breaches. The unbanked or underbanked can't access traditional finance services. Payments can be intercepted and markets can be shut down. So let's go to DeFi. No need to disclose personal wallets. Just connect a digital wallet. Users custody their own funds. Easier to avoid loss of funds. Trustless. No need to worry if the protocol says what it's going to do. Speeded transactions in real time. I want to go over specifically this trustless based system. So how these protocols and different processes are set up, they're programmed through a smart contract, to where a smart contract computes like a specific list of, I guess you could say, instructions or things within the protocol that is designed to do anytime this transaction is recognized. So it's not going to fight it. It's just going to do what it's programmed to do. That's why they create it in a public forum to where everybody can see, to where it's transparent and you can look up the transaction for yourself. You don't have to take somebody's word for it. You can go look. So that's what they mean by a trustless based system. And hours of operation are limited, and the DeFi markets are open 24/7. So that's one of the beauty and great things about crypto in these subsectors in crypto is 24/7. It's not shut down like the stock market or different things where if it closes at 6 o'clock at your bank. So it's a lot of different processes that, you know, it's open all the time, so you can access it anytime you want at 3 in the morning, be able to send off different tokens, start earning yield, being active on these different protocols and platforms, and just getting a return on your money. But let's continue with this article. People or companies in the centralized finance handle the asset classes processes. However, assets are being handled by a collection of smart protocols in decentralized finance. I'm going to kind of scroll down a little bit. Why is decentralized finance important? Through a PTP network, DeFi eliminates the intermediaries and permits decentralized banking, which wasn't possible due to the need to get transactions approved through third parties. The global financial crisis of 2008 showed that middlemen cannot be trusted, as customers are frequently unaware of the underlying regulations governing financial products and services. So that kind of comes in with DeFi, like I mentioned before, just taking out the middleman, having more opportunities between me and you, or we get a crowd of people, or we get a community of people. Now we can build off each other. So how does DeFi work? Through DeFi frequently mentioned connection with cryptocurrencies, it goes beyond the creation of new digital money or value. DeFi contracts are designed to take place of traditional finance systems. There are no banks or institutions to manage your money because there are no intermediaries to authorize transactions for DeFi applications. Furthermore, the code is open to anyone's scrutiny, so there's essential transparency in the DeFi protocols. And that's the biggest thing that crypto represents, is crypto represents a transparency system to where you don't have to guess, you don't have to take somebody's word for it. It's not going to be underlying regulations. You can actually go look in the blockchain, go looking at previous ledger or history in that transaction to see, all right, is that amount of money I put in? How much money did I get out? How much of this token I can see? And you can see all that just through a file that which you could look up as a digital, digital ID that you can actually go look up and track and see exactly where your money is going. So let's go over Dexes, which is something that we're going to cover today. We're going to cover more into swapping. That's an entry level, just getting into DeFi. So we're going to go and show over some examples of some Dexes, but let's actually read about it. Dexes allow users to trade digital assets in a non-custodial way without the need for a intermediary or third-party service providers. Although they compromise only one element of the DeFi sector, Dexes have been part of the overall crypto industry for years. They offer participants the ability to buy and sell cryptocurrency, digital currency, without creating an account on the exchange. Dexes lets you hold assets from a centralized platform while still allowing trading from your wallets via transactions, automated market makers. A type of Dex became prevalent in 2020, used smart contracts and liquidity pools to facilitate crypto assets. Dexs are built on top of distinct blockchains, making their compatibility specific to the technology they developed on. So that's a very important point that which I'm gonna highlight further in this video, is the Dexes are made specifically to that network, or specifically to that specific blockchain, to where you can find the native token. But I'm gonna go further and deeper, but I just want to just make sure I put that out there because I'm gonna be covering that later on in the video. Using Dexes require having compatible wallets, and a general self-custodial crypto wallet lets you control your assets. This type of asset storage puts more responsibility for the security of your funds. Additionally, certain Dexes may have fewer features and higher sorted. Dexes have came a long way in terms of liquidity and accumulating a regular user base. So we're actually going to just cover a lot of these lending platforms, stable coins, margin and leverage, DeFi, just all the risks. It's a lot of different stuff that comes in with DeFi, but we're definitely going to cover, just to start, just swapping, because that's going to be a mainstay if you're going to be in DeFi, if you want to get access to these tokens. So that's definitely what we're going to cover. But I want to cover a little bit more in this last part. How do you make money in DeFi? Depositing your cryptocurrency onto a platform or a protocol that will pay you an annual percentage is the most straightforward approach to earning passive income through DeFi. Staking is a process of locking up your tokens into a smart contract, which I mentioned earlier, in exchange for more of the same token. Yield farming is another way of rewarding yourself with more of the same token or new token. Your initial step will be a fiat on-ramp to purchase some cryptocurrency. However, before you proceed with purchasing your crypto, keep in mind the vast bulk of DeFi is based on Ethereum blockchain, so BTC is rather accepted. It's safe to use DeFi. The smaller token market cap is riskier than the investment. Therefore, look at the liquidity tokens before committing your funds and how much you actually want to invest. So just making sure you just stay track of the market caps, how much you're putting in, how many unique holders is in that particular asset, a lot of different things that we're going to cover. Let's actually get into cross-chain, what's swapping for DeFi. Okay, so now on to the next part of this video, beginner pools guide to save DeFi swaps and pools. So we're actually going to cover DeFi swaps, just get into that. Then I'm going to show you some particular swap specific chains, and then I'll definitely do a recap to run down all this. So in the ever-evolving world of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, decentralized finance has emerged in a revolutionary way to manage and grow your digital assets. One of the key features of DeFi is the ability to swap and pool tokens to earn rewards or access various financial services. However, navigating this landscape requires safe knowledge and caution. In this comprehensive guide, we will break down the essential steps to ensure that the swaps and pools you engage are secure. So obviously this is an example. None of this is financial advice. This definitely just gives you information. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything and no financial level amount of money. Just showing you just what's possible income opportunities, entertainment purposes. But what are DeFi swaps and pools? DeFi swaps refer to the process of exchanging one cryptocurrency for another without the need of intermediaries like traditional banks or centralized exchanges. Pools, on the other hand, involve contributing your assets to a shared liquidity pool, allowing others to swap between tokens and earning rewards in return. Pools are from the concept of voluntary contributions by groups of people. Even before the internet, people used to do pools by contributing money by giving each other in turns. This was done by groups of people who trusted each other. Today, this trust is placed by using the blockchain. However, there's some issues that you still should look out when joining a pool, and we will be sharing the most important measures that help you protect yourself. So yeah, definitely with pools, I know people that play the different MoneyGram games or whatever. You pass money around and people trust and people get out. So it's the same process as far as just sharing your assets, but just digitally, just with the community of people. So let's actually go over this safety measures for DeFi swaps and pools. Start by selecting a well-known and reputable DeFi platform. Popular exchanges exchanges such as Dexes, such as Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Curve Finance. So definitely make sure that whatever token that you buy, go look up that native tokens platforms where you can actually go buy it. We actually want to go swap for it. So if you just pick any one, you could go see. So you can click on Shiba. Shiba is just to access it. Then you can look on the markets, and then it will show you like these are all the listed accepted markets. And then if you go back, let's see if we can find it. So if you go back, you can see that Uniswap, as far as just available, just all the way back then in terms of available. But it was one of the first ones that was available for Shiba Inu. So a lot of people that had access to this particular swap got the token faster versus somebody that's going to get it on the centralized exchange or wait for it to come on the Coinbase or the crypto.com. But back, verify the website URL. Scammers are often create fake websites that closely mimic the appearance of legitimate platforms. Always double check your URL to make sure you're on the physical website of the DEX that you use. Confirm the contact address. Each liquidity pool or token has a unique contract address. Verify the contract address on the official website, community forums, or blockchain. So a lot of things, when you go buy a particular token, it'll have a contract address to where you can go copy and paste. Once you go copy and paste that contract address, then you can actually go see and then paste that in a particular protocol. But definitely will show all that. Just going to review token information, let's check liquidity and volume. You're going to double check addresses and data before confirming a swap. Double check your wallet addresses and transaction details. A small mistake in address can lead to irreversible losses. So that's one thing within the smart contract, blockchain, DeFi, crypto subsector space, is when you make these different transactions, once the transaction goes through, the smart contract can only do what it's computed to do. So once you make that initial contract and once the transaction goes through, it's not like you can go call a bank and say, hey, can you go get my money, or hey, can I do this? That's why you have to be very careful about what links that you get on, people that you like DM. As far as that, it's a very particular process because a lot of people take advantage of people that are not necessarily knowing how to navigate through these particular protocols and interacting with these networks. Utilize DeFi aggregators like Zapier to find the best routes possible. Consider the gas fees. Avoid unfamiliar tokens. Stick to tokens with established reputations. Avoid swapping for unfamiliar newly launched tokens as they may carry higher risk. So as you getting early to a token, obviously that token might not have an established reputation, especially if you get it 2 hours after launch. If you're trying to get early access or early in, just with that, also just make sure you check with your community forums. Make sure you double check with people. Is it the same contract address? That way you can verify amongst each other. Like I said, send user feedback, secure your wallet, and then also start small. So make sure you just start small, but let's actually get into some pools and some swaps. So if you can go and see, this is Uniswap. So Uniswap is the Dex for Ethereum. So any tokens that you're going to buy within the Ethereum, you can look within this pool and you can see all the popular tokens. So you can swap for ApeCoin, Arbitron, Audius, all these different particular networks within the Ethereum ecosystem. Doja, Mars, Eura, Frax, Gala. So all these particular Ethereum native tokens to where you can take Ethereum and be able to swap. So you can go back, click on CoinGecko, and then so you can take Ethereum and then be able to go take your ETH if you have so much in your balance, and then take whatever token that you want to swap for. So let's say I wanted to swap for ApeCoin. I'm in that particular project. So you swap for ApeCoin, then you put your amount, then you put your sell, and it'll tell you like how much you would actually get back. Obviously, I don't have that amount, but if you did, you would click the swap button. Once that swap button features, it will now swap your ETH for that Ape token. So once that Ape token is swapped, now you will have that particular balance. So whatever. Going on the same thing, this is another one with Alex as far as BTC. This is a Bitcoin swap. So these are all the Bitcoin native tokens. So you have your Wrap BTC, you have your Wells, that's a particular one. Then you have Alex, you have Ordi, you have BNT, you got Pepe. So these are different Bitcoin ones, and they have Bitcoin layer 2s where people can go. But this is one where you can access like different different tokens on the Bitcoin network and be able to access it there. And there's multiple layer 2s, but this is one, for example, on Alex, and being able to swap on this particular platform. This is another one coming in with PancakeSwap covering Binance. So that covers Binance. Binance is currently $587.74. So they have an exchange in PancakeSwap. So you can take your Binance and you can swap for these native tokens. So you can get into Dev, Ford, Garfield, Giga, Mega. So these are all these different ones that you can get on the Binance blockchain and be able to manage these tokens, and then I'll be able to connect your wallet, and then once you connect your wallet, you would make the swap. So these are ones for Polygon, and I haven't clicked the link, so let me click this. So this is QuickSwap. QuickSwap is for the Polygon ecosystem, to where you could take your Matic. We go check Matic and we go look down. Matic is currently at 55 cents. So you can go to QuickSwap and you can take your Matic and you can be able to swap for whatever native token that you want to swap. Matic is native under the Ethereum blockchain. So you might see just particular tokens and different things, but you can also go to Matic as a particular subsector, L2, within the Ethereum network, where you can get cheaper rates or cheaper gas fees when making different transactions. And then last but not least, you can go to Cardano. Cardano has MinSwap. Cardano is currently sitting at 38 cents. So you can get all the Cardano native tokens. So you can select this token and it'll show as actually my wallet. So you can swap and then it'll show you all the native Cardano tokens. So you have FLDT, you have Book.io, you have Snack, which is a popular meme. You have Kopi token, Iagon, you have some synthetic IBTC, some Indigo. So these are a lot of the ones that you can get within the Cardano ecosystem, and being able to swap your ADA and being able to take some ADA. So take a swap. So being able to take your ADA and then be able to swap it, and it shows you a USD amount and what you would get back in that particular value. So those are some particular swaps that you're going to be able to get into, specifically tailor-made and designed specifically on what network that you're interacting with, whether you're interacting on Ethereum, whether you're interacting on Binance, Solana, even the one on Jupiter that I didn't show. So basically that's a rundown in specifics in talking to whatever particular network that you want to interact with, whether you're interacting with Bitcoin, then you have your native tokens for Bitcoin. If you're acting with Ethereum, same thing. If you're acting with Binance, then you have your Binance. And even I didn't even cover Solana. So you even have Solana with Jupiter, and that's one that I forgot to cover. Then you have Dogecoin, Ton, Cardano. So you have all these different access to swaps depending on what particular network and native token that you're playing in, and being able to capitalize and get early interest. Let's do an overview and a recap for this entire video.
So just doing a recap. So obviously you're at the end of this video. So just want to do a recap and just kind of break things down in terms of what was talked about just throughout the duration of the video. So I know we got into DeFi as aspects for beginners, centralization versus decentralization, yield farming and borrowing lending, and then just finding the right protocol and then joining the proper communities. Make sure you click the links below, join my Discord, just different groups. Just want to just onboard people and teach people how to navigate in Web3 and how the purpose of this video in this series. But anyway, guys, a couple of things I want to go over. One of the first things I want to go over is just what's some actual financial incentives to actually get to cross-chain swapping and being on these different networks. What is going to actually motivate, or not financial advice, financial incentive that's actually going to have some motivation and be like, okay, this is why I should do this. So first thing I'll say is just having cost efficiency. So you be able to have access to swaps that's going to be cheaper transaction fees versus if you bought it on a main exchange like a crypto.com or a Coinbase. Second thing is you get arbitrage trading opportunities. So just being able to sell at just different markets, being able to have just different price entries and people kind of working between that. And then also you be able to get access to tokens faster. That's one thing that came alive during the last meme coin cycle is people that got access to Shiba Inu. They got them on Uniswap and many different other platforms before it came to a crypto.com, which was like months, if not almost a year later before it got released on that platform. But think about how much liquidity between how many other exchanges have gotten listed from that process. So that's going to just allow you to get into tokens faster. And then also you just get like yield farming and just different opportunities. So there's a lot of benefits and bonuses, and then also airdrop opportunities. I want to cover that one as well. You also get a lot of airdrop opportunities just for swapping on a different platform, swapping two tokens. So So those are some financial incentives and things that's going to actually show you this is the purpose of swapping, cross-chain swapping, and these are all the benefits. Yeah, just definitely just want to cover all that. I'll drop all the links below. You have every cross-chain swap as far as for BTC, even for Solana. They have Jupiter. You also have Cardano. They have MinSwap and Dex Hunter, and I believe Splash is one. A lot of many different swaps, even on BTC with Alex and different layer 2s. So just make sure you stay subscribed. Make sure you stay updated with the next video that I'm going to drop. Just doing this beginner series. Stay tuned for the next one.